maybe 15 years ago, something like that.
No, I think more.
Mark, can we ask Wife Shorty to sing?
Yes. So she'll sing some song about Mahaprabhu.
Which song?
I don't know, Emona Durmati, Avatar Sar,
Okay, Avatar Sar.
Jai Gaur, Madhur Sware.
Should be 130.
1:30.
Avatara Shara, Gaurai Avatara.
Avatara Shara, Gaura Avatara.
Enana Bajilitare.
Enana Bajilitare.
O Bajilire Baja, Jelana Priyasha.
Varinire Vasha, Janana Priyasha.
Apana Karama Pere.
Avana Karama Pere.
So, we're very happy to have all our we're happy to have all our guests here today with us for this Govinda Mela. And the name Govinda Mela is also obviously reference to Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj. Hey, Ravichandra.
Yes.
I asked you
Okay.
So, okay. Anyway, what I wanted to do now is welcome everyone here who's come from so many different places to join with us. Actually, this Govinda Mela was the idea for the Govinda Mela is coming from Sripad Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj. And he worked hard for making this Mela. He was traveling and inviting so many persons, and like an endless stream of Amazon packages were coming in. Tents and all kinds of different equipment to accommodate the devotees. So that's been going on for some time. So, and I know in our own community here at this Samadhi, it's the Pushpa Samadhi of Srila Govinda Maharaj. Actually, the idea for the Samadhi was Hashapriya Prabhu's. I had been, we were all devastated by Srila Govinda Maharaj's disappearance, but I had brought back some flower garlands and cloth and things like that from Srila Govinda Maharaj's actual Samadhi there in Navadip. And, I was wondering what we were going to do, put them on the altar or something like that. And Hashapriya wanted to, but said, he'll tell you the story, but how Govinda Maharaj wanted the Samadhi here and mentioned everything, the whole locale. And before Govinda Maharaj left also, I said, well, I said, Srila Govinda Maharaj, we'd like to take you back to Sokel. And he said, I will go there. And he told me, I will go to Sokel and I will sit on the branch of a tree there. So that's what he told me. But
watch what they're offering.
Huh?
And watch what they're offering.
Yeah. Not only he said, watch what they're offering, but he said, watch everyone who comes up the driveway. Before, he was in one room in our house, but he didn't have a view of the street. So then he and myself, we changed. Actually, the room where he was the master suite in the house, but he wanted to be able to see the prasadam hall, the driveway, and everything like that. So we switched. I was in that room and we switched. So anyway, then everybody in our community joined together in building the Samadhi. There wasn't anybody who wasn't involved in the construction of the Samadhi. Some people were, even the children, everyone was coming and they were bringing moving bricks or bringing bricks and sand and cement, and someone who was typical of this nature working continually was Kushamashram Maharaj. Anywhere he goes, he won't stop working. So he was very involved with it, and also Bahulavan. Bahulavan, he did so much of it. So anyway, our whole community was involved in this. And now we're gonna have some glorification. We're having some glorification of Srila Govinda Maharaj. So I'd like to start out with Madhusudana Maharaj, because we all knew him as Mahananda. And he was so many years with Srila Govinda Maharaj. I mean, he was more years with Govinda Maharaj than
Vaishnavas calculating. I'll check on this one.
But I'll ask him. And then I'd also like Vishaka to say something, because she was also many years in Navadi serving with Srila Govinda Maharaj. So between the two of them, whenever we go there, they always welcoming us into Sri Navadi Dham and everything. So, Madhusudana Maharaj, Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudana Maharaj, that was his name before, Mahananda Bhakti Ranjan, right? So now it's Bhakti Ranjan Madhusudana Maharaj. So we say something in glorification of Srila Govinda Maharaj.
I would actually, and maybe this can be done because you're also both happy. Seems like there's a lot of metal in the faces, and we like to be with you, close by.
No metal bars.
No metal bars.
No metal implants either.
So we have several speakers for today, so I'll try to keep everything brief. But first of all, very briefly, my obeisance is of course coming here to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, and to His Divine Grace, Srila Bhakti Rokok Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, to the whole Parampara and to the assembled devotees headed by Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj. So I've been asked to say a few words, and we can start from the point of view that an indication of Srila Govinda Maharaj's nature was just that he was always very much hands-on and very personal to know about all the devotees, and he took care of everybody individually, and so everyone felt and still feels, oh, Gurudev gave particular attention to me, and particular attention for this, for this, for this, for this. Everyone had a feeling of direct connection, because it was not only a feeling, it was a direct connection with Gurudev. So here he changed his room so he could see the devotees coming and going. Here he's come so he can see the devotees coming and going and what they're offering him. And in Navadi, when he had his veranda, his accommodation upstairs, his bhajan kutir, when he had that extended, he specifically had an extraordinary or peculiar window, a low window, so from his chair he can look out and he can see what everybody's doing downstairs. Normally the windows start at this height, and it's a whole row of windows as in a normal place. But then there's one window, if you see a picture of the Acharya Bhavan, Srila Govinda Maharaj's house, there is one window there that Gurudev would watch what was happening downstairs. Sometimes to his delight and sometimes not to his delight. Because he could see what was happening, who's taking what, etc. Anyway, this was very much a characteristic of Srila Govinda Maharaj, personal to everybody, everyone, and personal and caring and giving. And Gurudev, what was he giving? He was giving Guru Maharaj. And so he will definitely want us to give a little emphasis that what was I doing? I'm drawing everyone to come to understand the treasure that Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, was giving to the world. And Gurudev's whole mood was, if anybody does a little bit of service for Guru Maharaj, for Srila Sridhar Maharaj, then their life is guaranteed, their future life is guaranteed. Sooner or later, maybe a little longer, or maybe quickly, that part is in our hand to some degree. We must try to show that we are sincere and serious in our attempt to serve them, to follow what they've given for us. But Srila Gurudev, he was distributing Guru Maharaj. And we are saying Govinda Mela, so naturally the mind is coming to Srila Govinda Maharaj's Pushpa Samadhi here. But Guru Maharaj also, he very much like this Govinda, his dearmost disciple, Srila Govinda Maharaj, but his deities, Govinda Sundar, Shri Guru Gauranga Gandhava, Govinda Sundar, and right outside our mat, Govinda Kund, So Govinda is very much appropriate for our family, not only part of our family, but our whole family. It is very much Govinda-centered family. And who is Govinda? Govinda, Krishna, who is giving pleasure to the cows and to the senses, who is going with the cows and so many things in the Vrindavan remembrance of the pastimes. And that is a very sweet conception of Krishna. And you see how sweet Srila Govinda Maharaj is. And Srila Govinda Maharaj, he is that handmade devotee. Guru Maharaj crafted him to be as a devotee should be. And this is our wonderful Srila Govinda Maharaj. And we've come here today, and Maharaj mentioned that so many, was it FedEx packages came? But I'm also a FedEx package. I came in the FedEx. They put a label on and came here. And very happy when I got that label, because this is the first time really in America that devotees have come together extensively since the disappearance of Srila Gurudev. When Srila Gurudev was here, naturally when he'll come on the tours, as a grand magnet, all the devotee iron filings are drawn to the grand magnet. So it was automatic that that would happen. And now it is wonderful. It's wonderful for me also, because being in Navadip, so many of our faces that we know, the devotees we seeing here, we would only know them from Navadip. Know them means know you from Navadip. And so coming here, it is also the place where the devotees are all coming in glorification, in service, and in association, coming together, the very things that Gurudev wanted that we will do. So it is a wonderful Mela, and it is for the satisfaction of Srila Gurudev, it is for the satisfaction of Srila Guru Maharaj, it's for the satisfaction of Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It is for the devotee satisfaction. We are coming together, and at the same time, then naturally we are getting nourished together. They want us to have association. They want us to chant Hare Krishna, to know the glories of Kirtan. We were hearing some of the glories of Kirtan this morning. He wants that the children, we had the children's class, maybe it's still going on because it's very quiet up here. I don't know who's looking after the kids. But that the kids will be exposed from their early age, so they'll hear Hare Katha, Krishna consciousness. And so these things are taking place here, and this is for sure bringing great joy to Srila Gurudev. To us, actually I didn't have any part in making the sign that's at the bottom of the hill, but I was so happy to see it, where it's saying, Sri Govinda Mela, welcome home. Because it is not separate from Navadip. It's not separate from, we all know the Mulmat is like feeling very much everybody at home all the time. But at home, because of the influence, the aura, the shade, the presence of Guru Maharaj and Gurudev, and here also this ashram, in the whole of California, okay, no, there's another ashram or two that are here, we know, but very few places in the world where you're going to get the representation of, like the chaste, exclusive representation of Srila Govinda Maharaj, Srila Guru Maharaj, and Srila Prabhupada. And so this is very much an extension of Navadip Chaitanya Saraswati Math, and having lived there, as Maharaj said, for many years, then we can say, from our feeling point of view, that coming here now, it is feeling like Navadip when we've got this wonderful assembly together, and indeed for the last week, because the Bhakti retreat that took place last weekend, the youngsters and the not so youngsters who came, then most have been able to stay all the way through till now. So this is an extended festival, and we've been in Navadip where the festival kind of roll into each other with the devotees staying. And so we're very happy to be in this extended festival of Sri Govinda Mela for the satisfaction of Gurudev, for the satisfaction of the Vaishnavas. So Gurudev, many things we can say. We'll pass on the microphone to others because there are a few speakers, and it is a day where we can share some of these thoughts, but these thoughts at least to start us off on our official Govinda Mela starting today and through to next Sunday and including Sunday. So Thursday, Friday, no, today's, what day is today? Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 5-day festival. Wonderful. Jai Shri Govinda Mela ki jai. Jai Shri Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. and took, oh, you got your own. With mine, I can say, this is Hasya Priya Prabhu, by whose management and physical attention and doing, this whole ashram is being so beautifully maintained, and we see, I mean, so much. And for this Mela, Hasya Priya Prabhu also very selflessly doing so many things over and above the cause of duty. And we are all inspired to see that service mood, and this also is the very mood that Gurudev appreciates so much. So we have Hasya Priya Prabhu here to say.
So I'd also like to welcome everybody here. Very, very wonderful devotees from all over the world come to honor Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Mela. And we're very enlivened to have you all here. I'm sure you're all enlivened to be here. Very, very wonderful for us too. So this ashram was established, was picked, was maintained, was developed by Srila Govinda Maharaj. In 1992, he had given us some instruction to find some property where we could own the land rather than a rented house for the deities. And so then a few properties were located, and when he came here to this property to see him, Shante Prabhu brought him here, he said, no need to even get out of the car, get this. Very clear in his mind. And we can understand that his vision is some vision beyond our mundane vision, some transcendental vision, some vision of the future. Because even this spot here, very early on, he told us that there will be a platform in this eucalyptus grove where the devotees will congregate and have Harikatha and Kirtan. And so now we see that manifested. And then we heard also from Govinda Maharaj, he spoke this several times, about his desire. He said that after his departure, he wanted to come here and sit in samadhi underneath this tree where the children played. So this tree has some platform in it. Previously, the children would come up here and play. None of the adults would ever come up here, but the children would come. And then Govinda Maharaj could see through the window in his door, he could see the children playing up here. It was very sweet spot. And so he expressed that, and then after his departure, we remembered that instruction. And so we started to make some plan to come up here and develop it. And Giridhari Prabhu was here. Him and I came up here. It was just a hill full of weeds and things like that. And then we started modeling it and trying to figure out some plan. And then we realized, oh, this is the most beautiful spot in the whole ashram. Underneath the oak trees, has some shade, cooling, beautiful view. As both Maharajas discussed, it was Govinda Maharaj's desire to be able to see what was going on. So here was very centrally located, and you could look out and see everything. So the devotees here in SoCal and from all over the world united. Donations came from far and wide. These lions here came from Paramananda Prabhu and Krishna Priya in Thailand, and many other, much support from the devotees worldwide came to help us build this samadhi. And it was under Bahulavan Prabhu, who's an expert carpenter, mason, person, everything, electrician, everything. He has like 8 different licenses. He's been building temples and ashrams his whole life. And so he came and he was very, he directed all of this. He told us what to do, and then we tried to do it. Sometimes we did it right, sometimes we did it wrong. he let us know. And like this dome here, in India we see many domes. That's a common architectural style. But we didn't know how to build a dome here in America. And so it was all trial and error, trying to figure out how to build this dome. And so Bhagavan experimented with some different techniques with Madhavananda. Madhavananda Prabhu was actually the executed Bhagavan's orders, and then that dome manifested in a beautiful way. Had to actually design special tools just to do it. Tools didn't exist to us. And like that, in so many different ways, so many devotees participated in the construction here. And my favorite image is Ramachandra standing with one of these arches on his shoulders, like like the yoke on a horse or something, pushing up the arch to get it in place. Because we're all bewildered. How are we going to get that heavy arch up there? That's on his shoulder. So this was very a healing process for all the devotees in our community to come together and put their heart into this beautiful samadhi and glorification of Govinda Maharaj. We took some inspiration from the Pushpa Samadhi of Saraswati Thakur at the Sri Damodar, Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan next to our mat. Some picture, and then really it was Bhagavan that took all of these rough ideas and manifested them in a beautiful way. But behind Bhagavan was certainly Krishna's hand, and behind all the devotees. Prabhupada gave an analogy once. He liked to give analogies, very famous analogies. Gave an analogy once of how there's many cars in a train, and so we're sitting in one car and we're thinking, oh, the car in front of me is pulling me, and then the people in that other car, they're thinking, oh, the car in front of me is, but ultimately it's the engine that is pulling the whole train. So ultimately Krishna is pulling everything, providing the energy. And we're looking and we'll see Bhagavan did this, Ramachandra did this, but in front of it all, underneath it all, behind it all, was Krishna's mercy coming through our Guru.
I'd also like to say the relationship between here and Australia, because in Srila Govinda Maharaj, through Mahananda, Madhusudha Maharaj, he told me, Srila Govinda Maharaj, he says he will come to California if you will go and bring him there. And he was at Australia. So I went to Govinda Dham, and I was fascinated by that, just being in Australia, and then brought Govinda Maharaj here. And when I was in Australia, I told Govinda Maharaj about this property. Rishabdev had seen this property, but at that time it started out, I thought, too expensive, and then so I gave all these arguments to the devotees. But then gradually we were going up, and the man who had this property was going down. But I needed Govinda Maharaj because he's the only one who could tell us to get this property. So I told him about the property, and he said, yes. He said, I will go there and I will arrange everything, but you keep your mouth shut. You keep quiet. You don't say anything. So then he came here, and the devotees were really interested in another property in Felton, where all these redwood trees and everything. And they showed that property to Srila Govinda Maharaj. He said, no, I don't like this property. It reminds me of Ramnivas, like Ram's exile in the forest. So then, as Hashapriya said, he came. Then he said, do you have any other place to show me? He said, oh yeah, we have another place. And they drove up the driveway. original house was there. And they said, would you like to see the house, Srila Govinda Maharaj? He said, not necessary to get down from the car, just buy this place. And then everyone's, charge! And then we were in Navadip, and they had the deities, but I didn't know where the deities were for. And then the deities were where in the mandir, and then they were covered with newspaper. And then they brought them out to show, and when he unwrapped the deities, then I said to Srila Govinda Maharaj, oh, are those deities going to SoCal? And he said, and I said, yes. And then later I said, when did you decide you were going to send the deities to SoCal? And he said, I didn't decide, you did. But he said, if I knew how much money you guys owe the bank, I might have been hesitant to install the deity. But now, this year, we're done. We finished paying off.
Haribo.
So now we have the samadhi and the deities own the property.
Yeah.
So, anyway.
Can I say one more thing?
Huh?
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
A very nice quote from Srila Sridhar Maharaj to read. Describes the aspect of Gurudev's disappearance, the disappearance of Gurudev. Vipralamba. So, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is talking to some of the devotees from ISKCON. He said, once one of your devotees said in his lecture that separation is the highest realization. I was very happy to hear from his lips that separation, vipralamba, is the highest attainment. Without separation, nothing else can come to us. The anticipation of meeting Krishna will appear to us as vipralamba. So vipralamba is the most auspicious thing pertaining to Krishna consciousness. And we can have Krishna's connection also in that separation. So the safest and most fearless position is vipralamba. If we can stand firm and retain the memory of Gurudev and his separation, then we will have passed the highest place.
Jai Om Vishnu Pad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Pushpa Samari Mandir Ki Jai Samagata Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Pad Maharaj Ki Jai Harinama Sankirtan Ki Jai Gaura Premanand. Well, I can say I'm very happy and very humbled to be gathered here with all of you today on this beautiful day at the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev on his samadhi, and to see the devotees here eagerly and enthusiastically praising Gurudev and praising one another and appreciating all the service that he has inspired and that others have offered to him. So I feel myself to be very, very fortunate to be somehow tolerated in the midst of that and given some chance to participate in that. That is the great testament to the teachings that everyone of Srila Gurudev, that everyone is practicing, that of humility, tolerance, and giving honor to others. And these are the core values that he emphasized for us all, and especially a festival like this gives us a great opportunity to put them into practice. And when they're practiced well, then the festival becomes very glorious. Kirtaniya Sada Hari. If we hope to have a kirtan, if we hope to have a festival, then we must have these qualities. And we know that everyone who's coming here in various ways is practicing them. And that is no doubt very auspicious and beneficial for them in their spiritual life, and very satisfying to Srila Gurudev. So many people have come from so far at great expense. We know it is not easy to get time off work. We know it is not easy to pay bills. We know it is not easy to organize things and be able to come at this time. And not only that, but to come and then have to camp out and have to deal with weather and cold and this and that. And we know people have health issues or are growing old, and there is some natural tolerance and some natural austerity in it for everyone. But we hear in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu this phrase, Krishna Prityarte Bhog Tag, that one way we can satisfy Krishna, or one practice of devotion, is to give up a little bit of our comfort out of love, out of affection for him. So that is also one type of offering that devotees are making to Srila Gurudev in coming here. We know that most of us, we live in the city, we live on the grid, we have municipal water and all of these things. So if we're coming out here and now we're up on the hill and we're this and that, then let it be a little bit of a reminder, right? That by Kunta they have everything, but in Vrindavan things are simple. So let the little bit of austerity that is here, let it remind us of that sweetness and simplicity, and that offer a chance to offer some service or make some expression of devotion through tolerating a little bit of austerity. But at the same time, we know that it is our desire to beautifully accommodate everyone here, and Srila Gurudev was very attentive to see that devotees were well taken care of, and was very happy to see that suitable accommodations were offered to them. So we're hopeful that in time, with the surge of enthusiasm coming from the devotees here and through the community, that this ashram can continue to develop and have further facility and capacity to host events like this, and be a suitable place for devotees to come and practice Krishna consciousness in the line of our beloved Gurudev. And so this festival, we give the theme or the idea, the spirit of the festival, to say, coming together in service, love, and Sankirtan. Maharaj is reminding everyone that the water is potable.
Yeah, the water here is better than city water. If you had,
Better than the water you can buy.
yeah, much better than the water you could buy. They wanted to take water from here and sell it, but they said that because it's from a well rather than a spring, they weren't going to do that. But they said the water was really good. This was drilled during Govinda Maharaj's time here too. When we drilled, we hit an underground stream. So the water never stops flowing. It's always coming up. So, Vishaka, Sarvabhauma,
Anagyadatavadandasya Jananjanashavakara Chaksu Militam Yena Tasma Shri Gurave Namaha. I'm honored to be in this assembly. I feel unqualified to speak after so many exalted devotees. But I will say something. By Gurudev's mercy. We got a chance to offer some seva in relation to the deities. After Srila Janardhan Maharaj requested, or asked Srila Govinda Maharaj if the deities were coming here. Then one evening, after the festival that happened of Srila Guru Maharaj's centenary, the anniversary of his 100th appearance, inauguration of his centenary hall. A little bit, less stress and relaxing, and we approached Srila Govinda Maharaj to, again, asked permission to take the deities. And so he kindly assented, and then he asked his servitor to make some tea for us. We made some especially strong tea, and within a few minutes we were speaking and planning very intently. And I cannot mention this story without glorifying Sripad Mahaprabhu. His energy, his affection were behind all the developments of the ashram. And, even just recently, by his influence, the mortgage was paid. So he was there and sort of affectionately overseeing it. And I got the opportunity to make the practical arrangements. But the whole time, Srila Govinda Maharaj was there watching in a very sweet way. And, each step, when I got the cases to ship the deities in, he was there watching. He said, "How much did you pay for these?" And I told him, he says, "I could have gotten them for half that." No doubt. And each time, maybe carrying for Giriraj, Giridhari, which not possible to carry him, but by Gurudev's mercy, possible. And all the time, by his mercy, everything went on. When we installed the deities, he was watching. The night before the installation, we were working very hard to get the Shinasana ready. Raikishor's Maharaj up to 2 or 3 in the morning, painting, fixing it up, preparing it. And even when the devotees came at 6 in the morning to bring it from my garage to the ashram, the paint was still a little bit wet.
Yeah, he wouldn't allow us to get a Singasana built in India. He said we had to build it ourselves. Sort of above him.
And even that I have to mention, I planned it out and I got everything ready, but for some reason it wasn't happening. And I mentioned it to Bahulaban, and he came over and he supplied that energy, and then it happened. It just we have to give it honor when honor is due. And even when we had it in the temple room that morning, assembling it, Govinda Maharaj was sitting there in his chair, looking there. I wonder if they're going to be able to pull this off.
On the day.
It was hours ahead of the installation, and we were finishing the assembly of the Shinasana. But again, by his mercy, it all happened. And to see Gurudev's pastimes with the devotees, when he stayed here for 6 months, it changed our lives. So really, all the wealth we have is in the mercy of Srila Gurudev. Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Ishaka.
It should just be.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. You put the lights here on the head.
I didn't put that.
I mean, you turned them on. I know lots of devotees work hard to put them on. Jaya Jaya Guru Deva, Arati Ujjwala Govardhana Paratiti, Bhuvanamam. The effulgent arti of Srila Gurudev is taking place at the foot of Govardhan, spreading auspiciousness, benefiting the whole world. So here we are. This is Gurudev's own place. He declared this to be Gupta Govardhan himself. He spent so much time here, and he selected this spot. And now we are here. We are here in Gupta Govardhan. We are here at his lotus feet, and so we feel there's nowhere else in the world we'd like to be. in this world or the next world or any world, there's nowhere else we would like to be. And here in the assembly of so many souls who have dedicated their lives to him, their faith in him is shining brightly in their hearts. We feel this is the most wonderful thing. We don't have time to, actually we're happy to hear from everyone, but we don't have time to hear from everyone. But just to see everyone's faces, shining with their faith and enthusiasm, and to see their appreciation for our Gurudev, we feel so nourished, and we're so grateful for everybody who came, because we couldn't have a festival without all of you. So everyone's presence here is so valuable. Everyone's participation is so greatly appreciated, and we're very, very grateful to all of you. And we're also astonished to see how powerful our Gurudev is, and in his departure, how he's still taking care of us, how he's still bringing us together, how he's still uniting us, and not only his direct disciples and followers, but also his grand disciples and the newcomers, how they're coming and they're feeling his presence, and even without knowing very much about him, they're getting some sense of him, they're feeling a spiritual connection with him. It's really something inconceivable, something very astonishing. One disciple of one of our present charges, I won't say where or who, but one country I visited in the last couple of months, they came to me, they told me, they need to have a private talk with me, and so she came to my room, and she was like very anxious about something, and she told me, I'm a disciple of so and so, but I feel like Srila Govinda Maharaj is my guru. Is that okay? She was really guilty and confused about this. And she said, my Gurudev is so busy all the time, so I don't really get to talk to him very much. I don't get so much personal attention. But I feel like because my Guru wasn't able to take care of me personally, Srila Govinda Maharaj came to take care of me. I'm not making this up. This is exactly what she said. Logically it doesn't make any sense, but it just shows you how powerful Gurudev is, how much he's affecting people's lives, even in his absence. So we really feel like we don't know who Gurudev is. As Srila Janardhan Maharaj, we heard that wonderful incident when Srila Gurudev asked him to go to check on the deity of Srila Sridhar Maharaj that was being manifest in Jaipur, and Janardhan Maharaj said very frankly, actually I didn't really know Guru Maharaj very well. And we hear that Gurudev became very ecstatic, and he grabbed Janardhan Maharaj by the legs and said, yes, this is correct. We do not know who Guru Maharaj is. And we feel like that about Gurudev. And we feel, one thing that Sridhar Prabhu said once that always stuck with me, he said in something very particular about Gurudev is he showed a very shining example of what it is to be a perfect disciple. Because in the case of Srila Swami Maharaj Prabhupada, in the case of our Param Gurudev Srila Sridhar Maharaj, they showed very great examples of what it means to be a guru. Devashish Prabhu, he always says that if you look in the Akashic dictionary, the word acharya, you'll see Guru Maharaj's picture there. In every way, he was the perfect example of that. But our Gurudev, his whole life is a shining example of what it means to be a disciple. You know, how he came at the age of 17 years old and, you know, fully surrendered his life. You know, Srila Sridhar Maharaj asked him in their first meeting, can you follow me and not follow your mind? And in his whole life, from his teenage years, he showed us what it means to be a disciple, what it means to give your whole life to serve your Guru. And so now we're like, we feel a little bit like orphans, you know, like we lost our father. But you know, learning about him, you know, remembering his teachings, hearing about him from his faithful followers, it's like we're finding out more and more about him, and it's giving us something to try and live up to, you know, like let's, like, we want to follow in his, we want to try and be something of a disciple that he was, or come at least to 0.1% of that, you know. If we could do that, you know, our whole life will be successful. So he's still blessing us in so many ways and guiding us in so many ways and bringing new people. So he has not left us. He is very, very much present with us. I'll stop there.
Jai Govinda Mela Goswami Maharaj.
Well, I guess I could speak some philosophy, but I'm not. But I'm going to say that, you know, my thinking of Srila Govinda Maharaj is very, very wonderful. I was one time in Vrindavan with Srila Govinda Maharaj. And Govinda Maharaj, he said, now that I've come to Vrindavan, I have to execute some austerities. That's what he said. And he said, why is that? I said, you're the person who comes to the holy places and you purify the holy places by coming there. Not that you have to execute some austerities. And then he said, well, you are saying that like that because you are a disciple. You are. So then I felt very good. He's accepting me as his disciple. And one time Hashapriya went to India. I was planning on going to India for Gurudev's appearance day in December. But Hashapriya had been there in August or September. And when he came back, he said, Srila Govinda Maharaj wants you to go there now. So I called up Govinda Maharaj and I said, well, actually, I was planning on coming for your birthday celebration, your Vyas Puja, and, so, do you really want me to come now? And he says, yes. Well, first he said, I think it would, so I'm planning on going in December. He says, I think it would be better if you come now. He says, that is, I don't have anybody here to disturb me. So then, that was kind of my relationship with Govinda Maharaj.
In the best way.
It was very easy to relate with Srila Govinda Maharaj in so many ways. I remember one, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but one sannyasi took me to down on Vamanpar, not Vamanpar, the street,
Bangor Avenue.
Bangor Avenue. And he said he was taking me to the Arya Samaj, not Arya Samaj, the Brahma Kumari place. He wanted me to go there and visit it, and he says, it's very nice there and everything like that. So when I came back to Dum Dum Park, Gurudev was there waiting, and he asked me, where did I go? And I said, well, so-and-so took me to Bangor Avenue to go to the Brahma Kumari Center. And Gurudev said, Acha? Like that. And he said, and then he waited and he said, and I said, well, Gurudev, I could go for the Brahma Kumaris, but not those old ones. And Gurudev punched me in the stomach. He started laughing and punched me in the stomach. They're all old. They're all very old. They call themselves Brahma Kumaris, but they're not Kumaris at all. They're very old. Being with Gurudev was so nice, you know. You could joke with him, and he would tell us so many nice stories and everything. It was just such a nice time. I didn't get, you know, when I go to India, I didn't care if I was going to Navadip or to Kolkata, just where Gurudev was. That's all I cared about. If he was in Kolkata, I didn't even so much care about whether I went to Navadip or not. Then he'd always tell me, well, there's a program for you know, Gurudev couldn't travel. He'd say, there's a program for Guru Maharaj's appearance day. So you go there for that program, and you help lead up the program in Navadip. So I'd go there. Then the program was over, I'd go back to Calcutta where Govinda Maharaj was. And that's still kind of my consciousness, even when I go to India, that if I'm going to Navadip, it's because Govinda Maharaj is sending me there. And if I'm going to Calcutta, it's to go back to him. So like that. You know, it's very, I'm always thinking about even where I'm going. I'm trying to remember that Gurudev sent me there, or he's calling me back, or something like that. You know. But, you know, we had so much time to be with Srila Gurudev, many years. You know. Sure, I was with Srila Prabhupada for some years, and a few years with Srila Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj, but many years with Srila Govinda Maharaj. So those were very good years. When I was with Prabhupada, I was a boy, and he used to call us his boys. But, you know, with Srila Govinda Maharaj, then we could have some, you know, go there. So, and I remember Sanatan Prabhu, he told me that when he was going to take initiation from, you know, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, Srila Govinda Maharaj said, well, do you eat meat? No, he said, no, I gave that up. You know, because he's Bengali. He said, I gave that up some years ago. And then Govinda Maharaj said, well, do you smoke? And he said, no, I gave that up also. And then Govinda Maharaj said, well, do you take tea? And Sanatan said, yeah, I drink tea. And then Govinda Maharaj said, well, you'll have to give that up. He said that. But, you know, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I think he made a special exemption for Srila Govinda Maharaj that he allowed him to drink tea. But Govinda Maharaj didn't like to drink tea alone, so he extended that exemption to us. Anyway, very happy to have all of you with us. Because I think, you know, we heard that Srila Saraswati Thakur, he saw all his disciples as being extensions of his Gurudev. Srila Saraswati Thakur saw all his disciples as being an extension, you know, of his Gurudev. He talked like that. So I'm seeing all of you as being, you know, extensions of Srila Govinda Maharaj. That you're all reminding me, and that you've come here for the service of Srila Govinda Maharaj. You know, so that's very good for me. It keeps me honest. Anyway, I'm happy that all of you came here. It means a lot to us.
Jai Shri Bhakti Pavan Janardhan Maharaj ki Jai.
The plate's on the way. No, the plate's on the way.
People that like meditation.
Yeah. Well, I can also say that some people was really behind always keeping this ashram going, like Bimala, like
Jogging.
Kalindi. Kalindi, I don't know how many years she collected, for many years. You know, Kalindi and Bimala. Rajamohini was in the collection party here for some years. Who else?
Divya Shakti.
Divya Shakti, she never stopped. She's still going.
Suresh.
Yeah. Jivana, all these persons. But, yeah. Well, here's Bimala coming with the RT tray. Kalindi coming with the RT tray. So Bimala, you want to say, can I have Bimala say a few words?
You want to sit here, Bima? Soft places. It won't reach, I don't think.
Gurudev sent a lot of these persons here to help to maintain the ashram. Bimala, she was good. Her father told her if she went to India again, because she was going he would disown her. So then Gurudev said she's disowned, and then send her here. But then her parents came here, and her mother took initiation, and her father. And who else? Bhakti Lalita, she was sent here also. Kalindi, when Gurudev went to Venezuela, Udamanyu, she talked to Udamanyu, and she wanted to come here, and she was involved from the very beginning. And then we had, then, yeah, Kalindi and Vaidehi. I signed to get Vaidehi into the school system.
You want the Vaidehi to be raised in Guru Maharaj's movement because we were living in ISKCON at the time, and you were not happy with us. You said, these ladies are 50% here, 50%. I want them to be with you and Guru Maharaj. You were the one who made every single motion for us to come here, and Guru Deva said, yeah, let them go. He wanted them to say, go to
I didn't know that. I didn't know I did something right. And Brajamohini, she walked up. I don't know. She came here also, and Sudevika, she was here for many years. So, who else am I? Janaki and from who was from before Janaki was from Australia was
Her sister Sharmila.
Janaki came first, and her sister came after Sharmila.
Sharmila. So Janaki and Sharmila.
Another lady from Florida?
Yeah, Raseshwari. Rameshwari.
We saw her just now when we were there.
And so,
And her mother also.
Rajabalba.
yeah, I remember the conversation with Rameshwari. They were all going out, and then she was pouring some cornflakes in a bowl, and she said, "Is this milk offered?" And she's putting the cornflakes in the bowl, and she says, "This is milk offered." And I just said, "Look, the deities have had their offering. You take yours and go." Okay, Bimala, you start.
Well, I don't really feel that
Good. It's good. Yeah, there we go.
I don't feel that I can be saying anything, but because it is for benefit of ourselves and also for Guru Deva's blessings to all of us. So I will say, I don't even know what to say. But one thing that always comes to me very clearly, that I love service. Service really is everything for me. And since the very beginning, when I would go to India, I would always, I go to India, I see, seva, seva, seva. And Gurudeva made sure that that blessing comes to me. And even sometimes I would come and there were the mandir floor to be cleaned. And then I start cleaning the mandir floor. And then paraphernalia, nobody wants me to wash the paraphernalia, but paraphernalia were there, the people were not coming, I start doing the paraphernalia. And then they said, but Bimala, she's good, Govinda Maharaj's devotee, and she's doing the mandir of Siddhara Maharaj. And I said, they are the same. And then I wouldn't do everything. One time there was no water, they were fixing something, paraphernalia was there. I got that paraphernalia, gone up the stairs where Guru Maharaj veranda is, and there was a sink there, and I started doing the paraphernalia all over the temple, everybody. Somebody stole the 80s paraphernalia. What happened? The paraphernalia gone, stolen by somebody. And I'm there washing the paraphernalia. Then I'm coming down from where the veranda of Guru Maharaj was. And then I'm all cleaning paraphernalia and say, oh, here it is, the thief. Yeah, I was washing the paraphernalia. And in this way, I'm grateful that Gurudev, all of you, the Nada Maharaj that went to Brazil, and I see the Nada Maharaj, I am getting this blessing and I'm praying to his feet. And they told me that I could receive initiation. And first thing I said, but I don't deserve it. I really don't deserve it. Not me. But the devotee had spoke with Nada Maharaj and he was the Ritvik for Govinda Maharaj, Guru Maharaj, to give the initiation to me. And then he told my name, which is Bimala, and in Brazil, B means two, Mala means bed. So then I say, wow, that fits me very well, twice bed. Yeah, twice bed. But, yeah. But Gurudeva is teaching us that the humility, tolerance, and give honor to others. That's what Gurudeva is always teaching us, telling us. And in this path, we try to follow. We're starting this audit already.
She's making the offering.
Because I remember reading some article a few times ago that was there on the wall of the mat in San Jose. And I saw that, and I really I was going to go for collection that day, and I said, wow, I gotta bring this with me. It has to be in front of me. I'm gonna do the collection, speak with the people, and read. Because it was emphasizing humility. It said that somebody, the great, had conquered so many lands and so many things, Alexander. And he had this vast empire. But then Gurudeva said, but it didn't last. It didn't last. It couldn't have lasted because there was no humility. Anything that's built, humility is the main ingredient. And so because there was, in Gurudeva was in that lecture was saying, there was no humility, everything collapsed. So every day, I can say it doesn't matter, it sounds funny, but every day I say it, I repeat it over and over to myself. Humility, tolerance. I mean, it's easy to say, not so easy to put it into practice. But Gurudev is giving us that opportunity. He's giving us that opportunity by mentioning it. Every day, when Darshana that was here, Gurudeva was saying, I always, every day say, just be a Vaishnava. Then someone say, Gurudeva, how is it hard to be a Vaishnava? And Gurudeva say, I say every day, humility, tolerance, giving honor to others, without expecting honor in return. Honoring even when you think there is no honor due, and no expect any honor in return. So those principles also those principles bring us love in our heart. Because once you do this, that automatically that love comes. And once you do some seva, which is seva is the very precious gift for us. But that seva is also helping us to develop affection, love, tolerance. So in this way, I don't want to speak so much, but I am so grateful to all of you that you keep me around and keep me engaged.
Dhanavats to all the devotees. And my deepest respects to Srila Janardana Maharaj, Srila Madhusudana Maharaj, Asipuri Prabhu, Shratari Maharaj, Sarvabhavana Prabhu, all the devotees of this wonderful mat. When I was 19, Srila Gurudev came here, and I spent some time going all through high school without really devotee association, and because of all of these devotees, Srila Gurudev came here, and we were able to have his connection that was given to us by the grace of these devotees. And over the last decades, always receiving some sustenance and affection here when I'm working or whatever. So always putting my head on the ground to the devotees here and to this wonderful temple. Hare Krishna. So I grew up in Gurukula. In what's that?
In Vrindavan or?
I was in Vrindavan for some time, mostly in Los Angeles. But I can say that I didn't understand what is Guru. And I was fortunate, by the grace of my parents and by these devotees, to unconsciously come into contact with Srila Govinda Maharaj. And by his grace, some understanding of what is Guru came. And sometimes you think of Guru as, oh, you need to have someone to teach you, just like if you don't know math, you need a math teacher. So if you don't know spiritual stuff, you need a spiritual teacher. Like someone who's just gonna give you some intellectual knowledge. But it's not in that way at all. When I graduated high school, there was a war going on in Iraq, and the defense minister of the U.S. at the time, he talked about three things when you go into a situation. One is you have your known knowns, and that means the stuff that you know about. Then there's your known unknowns, which are the stuff that you know that you don't know. And then there's unknown unknowns. And that means that's the things that you don't know that you don't know. And we have to realize that when we enter into spiritual life, we're entering into a world of unknown unknowns. We don't know what we don't know. We have a tiny sliver of perception. And whatever conception that we have of Guru, whatever conception that we have of God, of the spiritual world, they're all mental concoctions. And the cure for this concocted world of the mind is the connection of the Vaishnava. He is holding truth. He's holding devotion. He's holding all these, what in our life is words. He's holding them in his heart. And through his grace, he may give us a drop of that. Actually, we're wholly dependent on him. So when we course through life and somehow I'm like, oh, a great teacher's coming, and I'm living in Chicago, and my parents are like, hey, you need to go see Govinda Mela. I have no idea what you're going to come into connection with. But actually, this is the nature of causeless mercy. To those who are not desirous of receiving it, who have not even the understanding to make the prayer, some connection can come. So, What can we say? We're here at this beautiful Samadhi Mandir that is manifested by the devotees, that gives us an opportunity to worship Srila Govinda Maharaj. And, all of us here, whether we know it or not, whether we understand what we're doing or not, we can place our head on the ground and offer ourselves to his feet and to the feet of his devotees, and we may receive some grace. And that's the fulcrum point in our existence. We're going in one direction, now we're going in another direction. Totally inconceivable. So, Jai, all the devotees, and Jai Srila Govinda Maharaj.
Just give you a shakti. While we are in temples, give you Shakti. She was Gurudev's private collector. So.
If you wish, you can come over to here and stand.
Oh, there's a place, yeah.
Jai, everybody, all glories to all the devotees here. I'm very honored to be asked to speak. I feel very grateful to be living here in this ashram. And one thing I want to say about Gurudev is that he always made everyone feel important. And he had a personal relationship with everybody. He always made everyone feel like they were special. And I can say that because he made me feel like I was special. But I could see how he made everybody else feel like they were special too. And he was very close to everyone. His relationship was very personal. He was very personal and very friendly and very caring and like a father and very loving and very merciful and to the very fallen. And so I feel very honored that I got to do any service, and we're always attached to our service. We become attached to our service. And we're lucky that we have a desire to even do service. And it's all from his mercy that we have a desire to even serve, to want to do any service. But it's all coming from him. So I feel very grateful for that. And very honored to be here in such an exalted congregation of devotees, and still here after so many years. And Madhusudan Maharaj here, and Shilajinad Maharaj here, and very close friends. I always feel like Shilajinad Maharaj is my friend, and that feeling comes from Gurudev. You know, your relationship with Gurudev, it grows on you, and you can share it. It's like, what do you call it? It's like burst of energy. You can feel your relationship with Gurudev through different people that you associate with. So you feel Gurudev with everybody. You feel that friendship with other people. And I feel it's very, very beautiful, and it's all been given to me, and it's all been given to us through Gurudev. You know, like Goswami Maharaj said, he said, Gurudev is not that picture, you know, he's not, Gurudev is our spiritual guide, our eternal friend, our eternal father, he's always with us and always has been. And the more we serve, like Bimala says, this relationship will blossom more and more. And that's what we're hankering for. We hanker for that. We are hungry. We're hungry for that service. And we know it's right. And that's why we do what we do, or else we wouldn't even be here. So anyway, I'm grateful to be here in the Association of Devotees and to keep trying to serving and to be around such great servitors as all these people. And I can think of like Krishna Priya, she really inspires me here. And so many other people. It's amazing. There's a handful of us that live here, ladies, and Kalindi and Bimla, and so many wonderful ladies. And now that we've all come together, we're actually all associated with one temple. It's not like different temples, but we're all from one place. And we're all one family, and we all feel like we belong to the same family. So I'm just very grateful to be here and to be a part of this big family of Gurudev. And that's what I can say.
Yeah. Praneshwari, and you know, we're speaking all this in English. Can we speak both? Maybe, well, then the English people won't understand.
But there are a couple who don't know any English at all.
Yeah,
I can
so-
translate.
No, you speak in Spanish. Is that okay?
I know, but
I know she knows English very well, but some of the devotees here don't speak any English. Well, you speak first in English and then speak in Spanish. You can speak first a burst in English, then a burst in Spanish.
My obeisances, my pronouns to all of you. This is Navadik, definitely.
Haribo.
It's a gift from Bhakti Kamal Tyagi Maharaj for all of us. He just brought Navadik here. I want to say that I was blessed because I was the day that Srila Gurudev was taking initiation in Navadik. And we were just like devotees, wherever he was going, we were following him when he was shaved and when they were preparing the fire behind the altar. He was walking around and we were following everything he was doing. After he was shaved, he started chanting his japas in the Nad Mandir, walking down, up and down. We were sitting on the floor, several devotees. And the doors were open. And suddenly I saw that he stopped chanting and he had his japa bag on a nail on the wall. And he went out, and I was, with my eyes, I didn't go after him, but with my eyes I followed him. And right there, I decided that he was my Gurudev. It was a formal occasion. He was going to take sannyas, so he was getting ready for the ceremony. And he just went out because the water, the tap, just burst, and it was overflowing. And he went to fix it. He just put his cloth up and he started fixing it. That was the best example of humility and humbleness. That was so captivating that it filled my heart, and I said, this is my Gurudev. And his love and his affection for Srila Guru Maharaj, he gave that to us. We learned to love and appreciate and respect Srila Guru Maharaj because of the love of Srila Govinda Maharaj. So we had both, and we still have them. And they manifest in all of you, in all these great Vaishnavas present here. Jai Guru.
Say speak in Spanish. You can speak something different?
Para los que no pudieron entender, yo conté que el día que Shila Gurudev tomó sannyas, él demostró su hermosísima cualidad de ser humilde y estar siempre dispuesto a servir. Era una ceremonia muy especial, era una ceremonia formal en donde él tenía que tener la preparación para tomar este voto de sannyas. Y él estaba cantando sus rondas después de que él lo afeitaron. Él estaba ya en el momento, en cuestión de una media hora, ya estaba listo para tomar la iniciación. Y él estaba cantando sus yapas en el Nat Mandir. Y de repente yo vi que él dejó de cantar y colgó en un clavito sus yapas y salió hacia afuera y yo no entendía qué pasó. Pero lo seguí con mi vista y me di cuenta de que se había reventado la tubería del agua afuera, en el ashram de los devotos, y él salió a arreglarlo. Él simplemente ignoró que era la formalidad de su ceremonia, y él simplemente fue a arreglar el agua para que los devotos tuvieran agua y porque era el ashram de Guru Maharaj. Él nos regaló a Guru Maharaj y nosotros tenemos la bendición de tener a Guru Maharaj y a Srila Govinda Maharaj presentes también en el corazón de estos grandes Vaishnavas que están tan dedicados constantemente inspirando.
Huh? Sachi.
Brother, the thing is, there are many devotees who need to speak, so it has to be continued. Also follow it may not be like many.
Sachi's going to do the offering. Right?
The offering is the
Well, she's going to do the arti.
Arti.
So we'll sing Gurudev's arti song. Page 36.
maybe we could just mention that tomorrow that we also have a program here about Guru Maharaj and some people who couldn't attend today can just
Okay, tomorrow at what time?
Same time.
Same time, same place?
Yes.
Same time, same place tomorrow. We'll continue. So those who didn't get to speak today, they can speak tomorrow. All right?
Jai Shri Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Shri Bhakti Pritha Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Dev.
Bye.
Yeah, what we're going to do is this. I'm going to take these. I'm going to take these. I'm going to take those away. I'm going to take this. Now we're going to put this here.
I can read off of Praneshwar's more.
You sure?
This is Eva Maharaj.
Okay. Go and start.
Jaya Jaya Guru Dever Arati Ujjvala. Jaya Jaya Guru Dever